You know what, internet? You know what happens when you think this is a dance? This. Oh my god! Do they have rainbow pops? That's like all the flavors together.
This is a news show.
Hello, Internet. It is Tuesday, August 3rd, 2010, brought to you by our sponsor, YouTube, who isn't publishing out videos today, so only like 10 people will actually watch this, so that's awesome. But moving on to our first story, Yohai, the inventor of Cheetos, died today at the age of 90 in an un-Cheeto-related death, so I think that's a victory. He actually died of cancer, which I think is the way people should go out when they're 90. Because no offense to anyone that's ever died like this, but I feel like, oh, well, that's like the most boring ending of a life. And they're like, and Joanne fell and was found dead. You're like, oh, you died of falling? From standing? So fucking lame. But much love to you, Maury. Without you, Americans would be getting fat on someone else's product. It would probably be less cheesy, which is a bad thing, I think. In a fun story, scientists found out that if you are wearing red, women will want to have sex with you. Or female gorillas will want to have sex with you. Either way, there will be sex happen. The only difference is if you want it or not. Apparently red triggers something in a female's brain because they're like, that's blood flow. I want that blood flow to go somewhere specific and get my baby. So wear red at your own risk. And of course, guys, it's time for my favorite segment, and it's about a very un-gorilla-like person, and that is the Katy Perry watch. But cream's coming out of my nipple. It's true. For those of you that do not stalk Katy Perry, she will be in the Friday issue of Rolling Stone magazine, and she's going to be on the cover looking like this. So she's hot as always. And she talks about her family and being Christian and how it's led her to this, blasting whipped cream out of her nipples. So it's kind of awesome. Yay, religion. And side note, I want to thank whoever designed pajama pants. Like the ones that chicks wear that say juicy on the ass. That is the most amazing thing that's ever been made. There's not even a joke there. I'm just very appreciative. So this next story is actually really interesting to me. It's about these whales in Mexico that love people. They used to be called the devil whales because they would jump out of the water and crush boats. But over the past few decades, they've become really lovable whales. Even going up to the boats for people to tickle their tongues. That's not even a euphemism. I mean, people literally go into these tiny boats and the whales come up and they're like, hey, what's up? And the tourists are like, I guess we should touch it. It's sticky. And the story goes into detail about how these whales have changed, which is actually kind of funny and terrible. Everyone hated these whales for a really long time because they were killing people, so they started hunting them. Then they were put on the endangered species list because they were about at 100, and the boats started protecting the whales because there were so few. And as they repopulated from the 1930s, now there's like 26,000 of them. And they love people. So that goes to show you, if you ever want a species or a people, Jews, I'm looking at you, apparently all you have to do is kill them until there's so few of them that when they have children, they don't know that they hate you. So I'm not saying do anything, but Gaza Strip, something to think about. That's terrible. And of course, what would a Tuesday be without a douchebag of the day? And that Tuesday douchebag of the day is a man involved in a story that has the headline, "Woman attacked during childbirth says it's the worst moment of her life." Really? There are very few things worse than that. It would be a story if it wasn't, like it reminded her of the time that she was set on fire and raped by midgets. That might be the only thing worse. But yeah, her baby daddy apparently didn't like what she was saying while she was under medication and just started smacking her and then punching her, which may make him one of the most disgusting people that we've ever talked about. Now, the guy's in jail, but you have to look at someone like that and go, you don't deserve to breathe. I know that's not PC to say. It's kind of crazy. But it is going to lead us to our Tuesday question of the day. What would be an equal punishment for this guy? You can be creative. But anyways, now guys, yesterday we talked about all the drama coming out of Arizona. Possible illegals being pulled over, people wanting to repeal parts of the 14th Amendment. But things got a little crazier when allegedly the Mexican cartel put a $1 million bounty on a sheriff of Arizona's head, Sheriff Joe Arpaio. And they also offered $1,000 if you wanted to join the Mexican cartel. Now, Arizona doesn't even care if it is real. What they care about is people actually thinking it is real. Because if someone's stupid or desperate enough, they will do this. And it really seems like it's only the beginning of a situation that's gonna get far worse. And guys, one last thing. Okay, Charlie Sheen. How does that guy happen? I understand he's on 2.5 Men and he has that show and he had that career. But he is honestly one of the craziest people in Hollywood. He pleads guilty to beating his wife when he's drunk and possibly coked out of his mind. And they give him 90 days in rehab. Even Lindsay Lohan's like, this is bullshit. And then of course he actually doesn't have to go to rehab because he already went there. It's like a side thing. How does that happen? Anyways, guys, that's really all that mattered to me this Tuesday. If you want to check out any of the stories I talked about or the special vlogity, I started Couch to 5K today. Click on those links in the description. And of course, remember the question of the day. What would be an equal punishment for our douchebag of the day? Comments and video responses. But guys, of course, as always, my name is Philip DeFranco, and you? Well, you've been filled in. You're welcome. I'll see you tomorrow.